Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening and welcome everyone, all esteemed learners, all dear participants to this orientation masterclass conducted by SkillzRevo Academy, NASSCOM training partner, towards giving you all an optimum clarity on our most comprehensive program in the field of cybersecurity and threat management. Myself, Arunav Mukherjee, working in the training and admission wing as HOD. I would like to welcome you all in this meet. SkillzRevo, as I said, we are the trading partner of NASSCOM, National Association of Software and Services Companies. So that's a governing body under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. 3,000 IT and IT-enabled services companies are their direct members, which are, of course, not restricted to only pan-India. They are scattered across the globe. So the opportunity associated with any NASSCOM aligned program and its corresponding certificate that is not at all confined to pan-India only. NASSCOM is a very well recognized name in approximately 80 countries beyond pan-India. NASSCOM is in a signed MOU, in fact, with MENA region, Middle East and North Africa. In this particular meet, there are multiple participants from GCC region, Middle East. NASSCOM is in a signed MOU with DIFC, Dubai International Financial Corporation, Dubai Internet City. They recently have collaborated with Qatar and Saudi government, trying to boost the economy of GCC nations, African countries, UK as well, through multiple IT initiatives. So that is how NASSCOM has been doing over the last 3 decades. It's a privilege for us to be their licensed trading partner. Apart from this cybersecurity, SOC, threat management, these related online certification courses, SkillzRevo, we are also having comprehensive curriculum in the field of data analytics, data science, artificial intelligence, generative AI, agentic AI, AWS, Azure, that is clouds, DevOps, MLOps, AIOps, and many more to add to our success stories so far. Almost 5,000 working professionals across pan-India as well as Middle East we have trained so far. And apart from the B2C model of training, individual career upskilling, we also deliver corporate training in all the aforesaid domains that I have just mentioned. Recently, our team went to Oman to deliver a very successful 6 days on-site corporate training with National Detergent Company, SAOG. If anyone has joined the meet from Oman, they are very familiar with this particular company. It was a hugely successful one. We also have a talent acquisition vertical, staffing, which helps the enrolled learners in getting aligned with any available placement opportunities as of now across pan-India, but we are having some definite plans to strengthen it for the Middle East and GCC related opportunities in the upcoming quarters. We have also recently launched a very comprehensive K-12 segment that is for the kids, young aspirants who are studying in grade 6 to grade 12 for their foundation level training in artificial intelligence, programming, website development, gaming, so that at a tender age they can develop these particular skills for the future job readiness. This orientation class today is the official batch launch, Cybersecurity Advanced Program Batch 6 for the courses aligned with cybersecurity, ethical hacking, penetration testing, of course, Security Operations Center, GRC. And this particular meet has been scheduled to give you maximum clarity, a visualization, you can see, on the entire program roadmap and its key learning takeaways in terms of further career opportunities. So on that note, we are extremely pleased and privileged to introduce once again Mr. Harshit Bharadwaj sir, who is a senior information security analyst with 13 plus years of experience working in the domain of cybersecurity, enterprise security operations, incident response, and threat investigation. He has extensive hands-on expertise in ransomware investigation, SIEM deployment, SOC operations, malware analysis, and security monitoring for high-risk and regulated environments. Mr. Harshit Bharadwaj, sir, he holds prestigious and recognized certifications such as CHFI, ECIR, ISC Square certified in cybersecurity, along with credentials in AWS, CCNA, ISO 27001, and many more. He's a graduate of National Forensic Sciences University, NFSU, with a specialization in digital forensics and information security. Mr. Harshit has professional experience with organizations like Kodak Networks Private Limited, ICT Academy, Forensic Science Laboratory, and has successfully delivered cybersecurity training programs for both students as well as professionals. And with SkillzRevo, it has been a fantastic journey with Mr. Harshit sir, who has delivered a couple of previous batches, having trained a lot of working professionals with 18 to 35 years of experience from different domains from India as well as Middle East. His expertise includes SOC operation, threat hunting, log analysis, forensic investigation, and security audits. He continuously stays updated with real-world attack techniques and defense strategies, making his sessions highly practical, impactful, and completely industry-oriented. In this particular meet that we are having, all the participants, some participants are already working with us for last couple of months, having completed SOC. We have two modules, so do not get confused. First module, that is a longer one, that is called Network Security and Ethical Hacking, where we start from very basics like information security system, network security, GRC, ISO, then digging deeper into the attacks, the simulations, different kind of threats and attacks, cryptography, penetration testing, VAPT on multiple levels. All these things will be explicitly elaborated by Harshit sir in the upcoming sessions. In the orientation as well, your trainer is here. After I hand it over to him, he would be explaining the entire roadmap. So that would be a 6 months duration module, network security and ethical hacking. Another module is there that is 3 months duration, that is Security Operations Center, Incident Response Management, Cyber Forensics. Together that constitutes advanced cybersecurity and threat management. And this is the program that SkillzRevo we have been offering for almost last 1 year, considering the fact cybersecurity has emerged as a field of study and work, which is very much interdisciplinary, which your trainer, Mr. Harshit Bharadwaj sir, will also agree once he starts his session. So having said that, those who are planning either for a career transition in this particular field or who are already working in the domain, maybe as a network engineer, maybe as a system support head, maybe as an IT support head, these kind of profiles when they are planning, or maybe as a GRC analyst, someone is already working, a security auditor, these kind of profiles we have had in this particular batch, the 20 participants of this particular batch. This is the composition, the nomenclature, if I say. So when this program, it would be completing with virtual labs, practicals. So all the important topics will be very explicitly and comprehensively covered, supported by labs, practicals, executions, deployment, so that the kind of skill that is required to be developed to work at a very senior position, that achievement in terms of learning takeaway will surely be as a part of this particular program. And those who have embarked on SkillzRevo's learning platform for the first time, so definitely they are going to start with the first module, Network Security and Ethical Hacking, followed by Security Operations Center, Incident Response Management, and other relevant topics. These new participants have been given some pre-learning. I hope all of you have started. If not, there is still ample of time. Next week onwards, the academic session, the cohort, with the syllabus, with the delivery plan will start. I believe everyone is already having the syllabus. However, after this particular meet, I will be resharing in the academic group where you are already associated with. Every learner is also part of a mentoring group, since the academic group does not entitle you to write anything, only admins can write over there, because during the sessions, Harshit sir will be sharing multiple data sets, some assignments will be given, multiple things will be shared by the trainer and the training team. So to enable you to open up with your queries, your concerns, so that we can reach out to you with our support. We can lend you that particular support. Everyone is having a mentoring group. So always please feel free to be available in that mentoring group. Whatever query you have, please post in that group. Our team will be more than happy to assist you. Next week onwards, the live class timings will be 9 p.m. IST till 11:45 p.m. IST. Those who are going to join the call from other countries, especially UAE and Oman, 7:30 p.m. That would be your local time for the classes to start with. Saudi, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, that would be 6:30 p.m. their local time when the classes will begin with. So on that note, I, Arunava Mukherjee, on behalf of SkillzRevo Academy, would like to thank you all those who chose us as their learning partner, and also to those who have joined this meet maybe as an invitee. I'm pretty sure this session will give you ample clarity, confidence regarding the program and its key takeaways so that you can take a decision whether you can join this particular program, maybe with SkillzRevo, maybe with any other academy, but to choose cybersecurity as your career option. So on that note, I would be requesting Sri Harshit sir to take over from here. The session is all yours, and wish you all the esteemed participants, dear learners, a very happy learning journey with SkillzRevo Solutions Private Limited. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Arunava sir. I'll take it from here. So, yeah, hi everyone. I hope you all are doing great. Let me just give you a clarity like what all things we'll be doing today and how we will proceed with our, the program that we have. So, Arun sir has already introduced me, but I'll, give you my very short and crisp introduction of what I do, and from how long I have been doing this, and, currently what I'm doing, and the batches that I have taken with SkillzRevo. So I'll give you some idea about it. So as you already know, my name is Harshit Bhardwaj. I'm a senior information security analyst working with a certain independent company in Gurgaon, India. I'm a certified incident responder, as well as I'm certified in computer forensic investigations. I have led multiple cyber breach investigations in different corporate networks in the cloud and in different environments, basically, right? I have dealt with ransomwares. I have dealt with malwares that have that act as a crypto miner, and as well as I have done investigation in the scenarios where the data breach has happened. Okay. Along with that, I lead a team of 6 people where we take care of security operations. We do network VAPT for our clients, and along with that, we also do the configuration audits for our clients in their cloud environment and in the on-site setting as well. Other than that, I am part of DEFCON Delhi, where I create hands-on labs for the learners. And again, it is DEFCON is basically a community where we create all these labs, and I'm a member of tech department over there, where we create different type of labs in forensics and in in cybersecurity, so that new learners who have some interest in cybersecurity, they can also switch their career into this specific field, and we can help them, we can guide them. So before I start with the this session, just wanted to let you guys know, like, if you have any question, any doubt, when I'm proceeding with the slides, if I'm explaining some topic, if I'm demonstrating some let's say some sort of attack or something, like whatever things I'm doing right now, if you have any question, any doubt, just raise your hand. We have a button over here where you can raise your hands, and I'll take your question, whatever you have. With that, I believe we can proceed. So yeah, in this specific session, what exactly you can expect, let me tell you that as well. So we'll understand some basic concepts of cybersecurity. We'll this is something that we'll do initially, and then I'll tell you about some very common attacks that happen in cybersecurity. And after that, the course that we have developed, the whole curriculum that we have developed, and in next couple of months, whatever we will be doing, so I'll be giving you some idea about that as well, what all things we'll be covering, and you will be also able to understand my teaching style, how I teach, and after that we will discuss about the job opportunities in the cybersecurity field. So this is something we will be doing, and after that we'll take the questions if you have any question or anything, and I'll answer all the questions that you have. During this time, I'll be showing you some hands-on labs as well, but some basic labs so that at least you'll get some idea, but we'll do a lot more things as we proceed with our batch. So with that, I'll start now. So right now, if we see in our world, we will notice one thing. So with the rise of these AOT devices, and you can see in last 1 decade, if you see in last 10 years, if you'll see with the rise of these IoT devices, with the rise in smartphones, laptops, and all these digital devices that we are having, the need for cybersecurity is also increasing. And why it is like that? The more devices you will be having, the more bigger will be the attack surface. Okay, let's say earlier if there were 100 devices, and now if we have 10,000 devices, for attackers the attack surface has increased. Now attackers can attack more devices that are out there. And so this is something that is there. So with this, with the rise in cyber, these cyber crimes, or you can say the cyber attacks, the need for cybersecurity analysts is also increasing. So this is something that we have. So yep, the field has a great potential. There are a lot of job openings. If you go on LinkedIn or any platform, you will see there are ample of job opportunities in the field of cyber security. And also people who are already working in, let's say, network, let's say who is already managing the network, or who is maybe who is on the manager, what I would say, on the level of a manager in cloud, or maybe in the enterprise network. Right now the organizations need you to also understand cybersecurity. So right now cybersecurity is mandatory for everyone. So yeah, for anyone who is already in the in the field, they also need to learn cybersecurity to stay relevant to if they want to progress in their field as well. So these are some cyber attacks that we have over here. If you see, we'll start with the ransomware attack. And is there anyone who knows like what is a ransomware attack, by the way? Anyone who has some idea about ransomware? Have you guys heard of this term, ransomware? Yep, please, Sudhanshu. All right, Balaji.
Hello. Hi, Arshit.
Yep, hi, Sudhanshu.
So ransomware would be like holding a system, like kidnapping a system, and then they ask for ransom in. They will like keep the files locked and everything for a single user, and then they will ask for a ransom in exchange to open their files, maybe via cryptocurrency or some other form of payment mode. So they
Exactly.
insert the system with a virus, hold it ransom, and then ask for something in return.
Definitely, this thing is there. Balaji, do you want to add something to this? Is there anything you want to add over here? Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, like in the past, like my system also got hacked, and
interesting. Okay.
so like all my data has been encrypted, and when my system got rebooted, there was a message flashing. If you want your data to be restored, you need to pay
this
a
much
certain
amount.
certain amount
Exactly.
to encrypt.
Definitely.
So like after that, like I mean initially when this incident happened, I was working as a vulnerability management, like a remediation. So currently,
Okay.
like I'm working as a SOC lead.
Okay. Nice. All right. Yeah, you are absolutely correct, Subhanshu and Mr. Balaji. You want to add something, Mr. Balaji?
No.
Okay. All right. So yeah, ransomware is a kind of malware basically that attackers use. The moment this malware is executed within your system, your all files that are present on your system will be encrypted. Basically, the files will be locked. You won't be able to open anything on your system, and there will be a message that will be you'll be getting a message on your screen that your files have been encrypted. If you want to decrypt these files, you have to pay us this much amount, right? And mostly the payment that the attackers take, they'll be taking this payment in the form of bitcoins, or basically a cryptocurrency, right? Why exactly? Nobody can, track this decentralized currency that is there. So this is a very, most prominent kind of attack that you will see almost happening every, other day. If you go and search, you'll see a lot of organizations got hit by this. In India also, AIMS Hospital, they got hit by a ransomware attack where a lot of their data was encrypted, right? So yeah, this is what the ransomware is. In our course, we will be doing an actual demonstration of the WannaCry ransomware attack. We will create a virtual machine, the Windows machine on which we'll perform this attack, and we will encrypt the way attackers perform that attack. We'll do the exact attack in the same way, so that you will also get the clarity how these attacks actually work. Similarly, on the other hand, we will also do the investigation on a system that is compromised by a ransomware using its RAM dump and the system logs. But yeah, this is what ransomware is. And then we have a malware. Malware is what? Malware is nothing but a malicious program. Ransomware is also a type of malware only. So malware can have, at the end, the intention is the destruction. It can, it will harm your system by encrypting it, or maybe it will harm your system by deleting all the data from your, machine. So malware is nothing but a malicious program where the attacker's intention is to cause disruption, or, just to harm your system and data. Similarly, we have something called as phishing. I'm pretty much sure many of you would have heard about phishing. So in phishing, this is a kind of a cyber attack where attacker will be sending you an email, and the attacker will attack the human psychology, and it will make you to, like the attacker will send such an email that you will enter your own credential in that email. And this is how this attack works. For example, if I want to perform attack on Mr. Balaji, I'll be sending him an email saying that, you are getting Netflix, 3-month subscription for free, totally free. Just sign up over here, click on this button and sign up. And if, Mr. Balaji clicks over there, and, the same very similar looking page will appear on his screen, just like Netflix. The moment he will be entering his credentials, Netflix credentials, those credentials the attacker will get. Okay, this is how whole phishing attack works. Okay, then we have MITM attack. This is man in the middle attack. Let's say, we have two entities, A and B, both are communicating with each other. There will be this another party named C. He will come in between. Now to A, he will pretend like that he is B, and similarly to B, he will, pretend like it is A. So this is the MITM attack, where the external attacker hijacks the whole session, and the communication will go from here to here. This is how it will work. We'll do one attack on, this as well, where we'll use DNS spoofing, and we'll replicate the exact same attack. Then we have, another attack with the name DDoS, distributed denial of service attack, where what attackers do, they, bombard any application with multiple machines with multiple requests. So let's say, there is a website with the name Amazon.com. So Amazon, let's say, Amazon can handle 100 requests at a time. What attacker will do? Attacker will send 10,000 requests at a time. Now what will happen? It will consume all the, the resources that Amazon is having. It can only handle 100 requests, and you are sending 10,000 requests. So what will happen? The resources will be utilized, and the system will crash. This is what your DDoS attack is. Okay. So we have a lab on DDoS attack as well, where we, create a replica of a website, and then we do application level DDoS attack, where we see how exactly this DDoS works, how exactly you can send such traffic, and how you can actually, put any website down. And along with that, we also discuss how we can prevent these things, right? What are the things you need to implement in order to prevent such attack, all right? And then we have malvertising, where, you'll be getting malicious advertisements. And I'm pretty much sure you guys have seen these kind of advertisements as well, where, you'll be getting a pop-up on your screen saying that your system is compromised, download antivirus. So the antivirus that you're downloading from that advertisement is not antivirus, but that in fact is a malware. So this is again, something that we have. So these are some of the very common cyber attacks, very, well-known cyber attacks that are there. After this, there is one more thing that I want you guys to know is something called as CIA. So these attacks that we have discussed right now, these attacks are actually targeting these three principles, one or more than one principles, one of these principles. So cyber security has main three pillars. We call it as CIA triad. The first thing that we have is confidentiality. The second thing that we have is integrity, and third thing that we have is availability. When you are performing a DDoS attack, basically you are attacking availability. So I'll explain what this is. And then when you are performing a MITM attack, then you are attacking this specific side of security. So what is confidentiality? Confidentiality is about preventing the disclosure of data to the unauthorized parties. For example, if some data belongs to me, I don't want Subhanshu to see that data. For that, we will be implementing some things so that he cannot see the data. For example, you have Instagram, right? I believe most of you have Instagram and LinkedIn. So now only Subhanshu can go and see his data. Why exactly? Because he will need to put the user ID and password in order to go inside the application. So we have implemented the login, the organizations implement login mechanism in order to, protect the confidentiality, so that the data that belongs to Subhanshu, only he will be able to see it. I cannot see that, right? First thing. Then we have integrity. Now, what is integrity? Integrity refers to protecting information from being modified by the unauthorized parties. Before going to integrity, I want to mention one thing over here. So let's say I perform a phishing attack where I got, Instagram credential of Subhanshu. I will use his credentials and I'll log into the Instagram. Now confidentiality is lost because I have the unauthorized access to his account now. So this is, how the confidentiality can be lost. Then we have integrity. Integrity refers to protecting information from being modified by the unauthorized parties. So basically, when I am sending some data to Subhanshu, I want to make sure that, whatever data I'm sending, he should get the exact same data. Or for example, when you go to any website and you're trying to download some software, integrity will make sure that the software that you're trying to download, it will, you'll be able to download the exact same software without any alteration or modification. Okay. So when we are communicating, whatever, if I'm saying that, hi Subhanshu, hi, how are you? The same message should go to him. So nobody can alter that message. So this is what integrity is. So when a MITM attack happens, when two people are communicating, so let's say I'm sending some message to Subhanshu, I'm sending some file to Subhanshu. There was some attacker who was sitting in between. He got my message, he altered it. He received the file that I shared, he altered it and sent a malicious file to Subhanshu instead. This is where integrity will be lost. Okay. And finally, we have the availability. Availability is that whatever data belongs to me, I should be able to access that data whenever I want. For example, if I'm storing some data on Google Cloud, on Google Drive, Google will make sure that the authorized user, that is me, whenever I want, I have access to my data. Google cannot say this thing that, you want this file, I won't give it today, come back after 24 hours, then I'll give. So if that happens, then again, availability is lost, right? So availability is making sure that authorized parties are able to access the information when needed. So when this DDoS attack happened, as I told you, that in DDoS attack, the websites will crash and the legit user who have some data on that website, who want to access the website, they won't be able to do that. You can go and read, more about it. So there is this DDoS attack happened on Google as well in past. So yeah, and when the companies are this big, whenever this kind of attack will happen, it will directly impact their, valuation and whatnot. All right. So this is again, something that we have. And when we specifically, talk about cybersecurity, what is cybersecurity? So cybersecurity is a body of technologies, processes, and practices designed to protect network, computer, program, and data from the attack, damage, or unauthorized access. So this is something that is there. So whatever digital assets we have, digital data that we are having, cybersecurity is a body of technologies, processes, and practices, that are designed to protect all these digital assets that we are having. So this is what cybersecurity is. Okay. And definitely, it covers these many things. Application security will be there because you can have data on application. Network security, disaster recovery and management will be there. Security awareness training, that is end user education. operational technology security, and information security. So cybersecurity has, there are multiple things that we do to make sure that all the data that we have in a digital space, it is secured. So three pillars of cybersecurity. First, we have people, then we have processes, and then we have the technology. So what are these people, process, and technology? Let's say we have a IR team, that is a incident response team. Okay. Now this will be your people, or we have SOC analysts in a company. Okay. We have the information security analysts in a company, cybersecurity analysts in a company. So these are people that are trained professionals who have the experience, expertise, and the knowledge that how things work. How do we test out vulnerabilities? How do we identify vulnerabilities? How do we identify the security gaps? So that will fall under your people. Then we have the processes. What are processes? Basically having proper processes in place, as in having proper password policy in place, where basically it is a written document where we need to mention how exactly cybersecurity should be implemented. For example, a company has a password policy where they have written that, all the employees working in this company, your password should be this much long, where the password should have a, let's say, a length of 12 character, minimum 12 characters should be there. Let's say, one, what I would say, uppercase, one lowercase, character, some special characters, numbers should be there. So this is the password policy where you create the policies for all the people who are working in the company. For IR team, you have an incident response policy. That means if in future some cyber attack happens on your company, you know what to do. So proper processes need to be in place. Okay. Then finally, we have the technology. What all things do we have in technology? Having the proper security solutions in place. Example would be having a SIM solution in place, having a EDR, endpoint detection and response solution in place, proper antivirus solution. We have the IDS, IPS in place. All solutions are there. So all these things we will be having in this. Okay. So I'll give you one example now, real quick. So over here we have Wendy. Wendy is a receptionist at a hotel where she book appointments, she make payments, and she manage all the customer accounts and all these things. Okay. So some cyber incident happens because of which she is not able to book the appointments and make any kind of payments. The all the people who have the booking or who are coming to hotel, they are not able to make any payments, right? So now what exactly we should do, right? When this kind of attack will happen, so we call it as incident, cyber incident, right? When any cyber incident happens, there will be a incident response team who will be coming in picture, and we will have proper steps that we need to take in order to identify the threat, and also so that we can find out a root cause, and at the end we want to make sure everything is up and running again. So these are some things that will be done. All right. Identify the source and perform business impact analysis, detect logs and access control issues, contain the threat path to stop the further damage, prioritize recovery, and install the prevention software. What exactly this incident response team has done now, they have identified that how this has happened and what business impact this specific thing will be having, right? So based on that priority, we'll set the priority. Okay. Detect logs and the access control issues. So whatever relevant logs are required, for example, whatever softwares are being used, logs for those softwares will be taken from the Wendy, right, or the hotel. So we'll take all those logs, and we'll identify the access control issues that are there. Finally, contain the threat path to stop further damage, so that it won't affect other machines even if one system is compromised. And finally, prioritize the recovery and install the prevention software. Once we have done proper recovery, proper EDR solution or the antivirus solution will be implemented, so that this kind of thing won't happen in future. So this is in a very layman term if I tell you. So as we proceed, cyber forensics in itself as that domain is very big. Okay. When we talk about cyber forensics, we do RAM dump analysis, we do disk analysis, and based on that disk there will be a lot of logs that you'll be getting, application logs, system logs that we will be analyzing, right? And let's say you found some script, some malwares you have identified, you'll do the malware analysis on that. So It is a very big process, but yeah, in a nutshell, this is how all these things work, and we will learn how these things are done technically as well. Okay, so I'll give you some idea that in what areas we will be working in this specific program, what are the kind of things you'll be working on. So you'll be given some pre-learning material where we have covered Python and Linux fundamentals. Along with that, information security fundamentals are also discussed in those specific videos. After that, we'll be doing application security and penetration testing, that on a website, how exactly, what are the security issues that we have on any kind of website, how do we exploit those issues, how do we exploit those vulnerabilities. That is something you will be learning. The security concepts related to any website, that is something we'll be doing. So these are some topics. I'll explain in very short all these topics that we have. So application security and pen testing, we have network defense and penetration testing. So at the application level, application pen testing, basically application VAPT, network VAPT, governance, risk and compliance, where we have ISO 27001, NIST frameworks. We'll discuss these. Then right now we have also, we'll be working on these things as well, securing emerging threats, where we'll discuss about, IoT, cloud, and AI related, attacks that happen. So we'll do the endpoint hardening, incident handling concepts we'll be discussing, and basics of cloud security and cryptography will be discussing as well. And we'll discuss about SIM architecture, hands-on Splunk, and along with that, we'll also work on Wazoo as well as a SIM solution. And we'll discuss the root cause analysis, how exactly root cause analysis is done, and how we do the cyber breach investigation as well. So these are some tools, and again, we are not limited to these tools. We'll be working on a lot more tools. But yeah, so these are some tools we'll be working on. We have Wireshark, AnyRun, Splunk, Metasploit. We have John the Ripper, Hashcat, whatnot. So almost all the tools that are used in these specific domains, in network security, network VAPT, website security, website VAPT, all these tools we will be working on. So volatility is there, autopsy is there, cyber triage is there. A lot of tools are related to forensics, SOC, network VAPT, web VAPT. This one is for web VAPT. But yeah, again, not limited to this, but a lot more tools, we'll be discussing. So, yep, just quickly, I'll give you a brief about this. So, yep, we'll be discussing Python fundamentals, lists, tuples, dictionaries, some basic level of Python you'll be able to understand, by the end of this. For Linux, we'll understand some, basic commands that are required. Because see, whatever we'll be doing, all the things we will be implementing on Kali Linux. Right now, I have this Kali Linux in front of me. So this will be your go-to operating system. Whatever activities we'll be doing, all these activities we will be doing on Kali Linux. Along with Kali Linux, so Kali Linux will be our attacker machine. Along with this, we'll have a lot more, victim machines as well. So for each class, let's say, whenever we have a lab exercise, there will be one of these machines that will run, and we'll be performing an attack on that machine. Okay. So this is how our labs will work. So this is how Kali Linux operating system looks like. So by the end of those modules, like Linux module, you'll be able to understand how to write all these commands, and basically whatever knowledge is required for you to learn all the concepts that we'll have in following modules. We'll be covering all these things over here. Okay. Foundation of information security, these are some topics we'll be discussing. Cyber threats, different type of cyber threats that are there. Information security fundamentals, some very major concepts that are required for you to understand cybersecurity at the corporate level. That is something we'll be doing. And yeah, some common cyber attacks we'll be discussing. For application security and VAPT, again, we will be performing these kind of cyber attacks, and again, not limited to this, but this is something we'll be doing. Along with this, a lot more things also we'll cover, right? So these are some common attacks that we will be doing in our lab environment as well. SQL injection attack, cross-site scripting attack, OWASP top 10 we'll be covering, right? And what kind of tools we'll be using for that? Tools as in, what kind of lab environments we'll be using, the attacks that we'll be performing. Either we'll use DVWA for that. We can use, BVAP, and then we have a lot of labs that are directly on the Portsfigure portal as well. So that is again something that we have. So we'll solve lab on each vulnerability on top 10. This is very much important. So if you have, explored a little about about cybersecurity or specifically application security, I'm pretty much sure you guys would have heard about this specific term a lot of times. OWASP top 10, right? So every year OWASP, not every year, every 4 year, OWASP lists down 10 top vulnerabilities, and for applications that are very common. So we'll do our lab on all those 10 vulnerabilities that are there, right? So yeah, that is something we'll be doing. Network defense and penetration testing, you will be learning, black box VAPT, gray box VAPT, how these VAPTs are conducted, right? And how the packet inspection is done using Wireshark, how we do VAPT. So I'll tell you something. The whole program that have been designed, we have designed in such a way that in corporate, whatever things are required. For example, if you have, like, some of you who are already, let's say, on the let's say on some managerial position, you will understand this thing, that if your company has ever done a VAPT, so you will understand how they give you the reports. So we have the black box VAPT where they won't ask you for any credentials or anything, so then they give you the report. So the course has been developed in such a way that at the corporate level, the kind of work we do for our actual clients, that is something you guys will be learning in this program, right? How these VAPTs are configured, and finally how the reporting is done, right? From very scratch to very end, how the initial engagement is, how we get the scope of work, and what kind of data you need in the SOW, and then using that data, how you will do the black box VAPT, gray box VAPT, and finally how exactly you'll be creating a report so that a non-technical person or someone who is not into cybersecurity, so that he also understands the security risks that are there. So that is something we will be doing. Okay. Safe configuration of the network devices, right? How to configure firewalls in a more secure way, how to configure routers and switches in a more secure way. That is something we'll be discussing. Encryption, decryption technique, we'll discuss how data backups should be done, right? So that is something we'll be doing. And yeah, type of assessment, host based, network based, application based, all these assessments we'll be doing at the network level. How VAPT is conducted, again, black box, gray box we'll discuss. Server hardening, how that is done, firewall hardening, firewall rule review, how those things are carried out on the application level, how this VAPT is carried out. That is something we'll be discussing. And then coming after that, we have GRC, governance, risk and compliances. In GRC, we have let's say, as per ISO 27001, the organization needs to conduct a audit, right? So how exactly this audit is conducted as a GRC analyst, what exactly you will do, how exactly you will create the questionnaires, right, that you need to ask. First of all, you will understand what is ISO 27001, what is NIST, how these frameworks work, and based on that, how exactly audits are conducted. This is something we will be doing. This is something we will be working on, right? Performing the risk management, how risk management is done. So these are some things that we have. So let me just give you some idea about this, right? Really quickly. So for example, when I say network VAPT, so what kind of things we do in network VAPT? I just need a moment. Let me quickly log into my tool once, and then I'll demonstrate how this network VAPT is also carried out. Yep, Mr. Balaji, go ahead.
So what exactly this VAPT means, like vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. So what is this vulnerability assessment?
Yeah, that is exactly what I'll be demonstrating right away, Mr. Balaji. Just let me share my screen real quick, and you will understand this.
Okay.
So for example, you can see my screen right now. Okay. So what I have over here is, on the left side, I have this is my attacker's machine. And over here, I also have a victim's machine as well. Hold on. Yep, over here, this is my victim's machine. This is also a Linux-based system that we are having right now. So before this session started, I actually ran a vulnerability assessment scan on this specific system. Okay. So this tool that I have over here on the left side, this tool is called as Tenable Nessus. Nessus is used to perform the vulnerability assessment. Okay. So what is this vulnerability assessment? So any server, any machine that you are having, what attackers do is that, whenever an attacker wants to hack any system in your organization, let's say he got initial access, like he hacked one system in your organization. Now what he wants to do is he wants to do the lateral movement. That means after compromising one machine, from this machine he want to move to different other machines that you have within your company. For that, what he will need to do is he will need to find out the vulnerabilities or the issues within your organization, right, where he can exploit those vulnerabilities and hack another machine from there. Okay. So in vulnerability assessment, what we do is we actually find out those vulnerabilities before an attacker can, find those vulnerabilities, and then we will fix all those issues, all those vulnerabilities, so that the system will be in a more secure state. Okay. So right now I ran a scan on this metasploitable machine, that is my victim machine. I already ran this scan. So let me show you this thing. So over here, we have ifconfig command, and you can see the IP of the system, that is 192.168, line number 6. If you read, hold on. So if you guys read this line, ETH0, and the second line after this, it says 192.168.1.40. That is the IP of this victim system that I have. So what I have done is I have launched a scan on this specific IP address, before the class started, because the scan needs some time. So in the host, you can see 192.168.1.40. So once I run the scan, the tool will, show me all these vulnerabilities over here. So it is giving me that, this VNC server password. So it is telling me that, the VNC service that is running on the, victim machine, the password for the VNC is password. That means VNC is just like RDP, the way we have remote desktop protocol. Just like that, we have VNC in Linux. Okay. This means, basically what this means is we can just access that specific system by this. The password of that system is password. Okay. So what I'll do, so I have VNC server password. So what I can type over here is login via VNC. So we have a lot of VNC clients that we use. Okay. So one such client that we have is we call it as XRDP, or maybe we can use VNC viewer as well. So just need a moment. And again, I don't expect everyone to understand everything that I'm doing right now, right? So don't worry, like all these things will understand in very detail from very basic. So that is something we will be doing. So I'll be using we have something called as VNC viewer. I'll be using a VNC viewer to take access of this machine right now, because I already know the password of that specific system. So if I type over here VNC, hold on, viewer, so it says connecting to VNC viewer. So let me type the IP 192.168.1.40. Password I need to write. Password was PASSWORD. Yep, I have the access to that machine right now. So this victim machine that I have, this victim machine on the right side that I am having, I am able to access that machine directly from the attacker's system right now. Okay. So this is the metasploitable, that we are having on the right side as a victim machine. Okay. So this is how we do the vulnerability assessment, where I will first do the vulnerability assessment, where we will identify the vulnerability using these kind of tools. There are a lot more tools that we'll be covering, but just like NASS, we have a lot more manual tools as well that we use. So right now NASS told me that okay, this vulnerability exists. Now to validate that this vulnerability is true, what I'll need to do is I'll need to do the penetration testing, where I will actually use this password to log into that system. And I did right now, and I was able to log in as well. Right. Similar to this, we have a tool called as Nmap that we use, right, to find out the vulnerabilities in the victim machine. So I'll write a very quick Nmap command over here. Yes, Mr. Shubhendra, go ahead.
What if I don't know the password?
What if you don't know the password? So right now, that's what I'm saying, right now it has identified, our tool has identified that the password is password. So this string that you see over here, this is password, okay? But let's say you don't know the password, you just go to know that, okay, that server has VNC port open. Then we will do the brute forcing. What is brute forcing? So in brute forcing, we actually perform an attack where we'll have a list of, passwords, let's say 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 50 lakh passwords we'll have in a form of a text file. I'll use Hydra tool and I'll perform a brute force attack on that port. So we'll try and test multiple different password. If you have some simpler password, let's say, so in a real setting, I'll tell you, I went to Gujarat to do a VAPT. This company is a very big government company. I cannot name it, but it's a very big government company. So over there, they were having VNC, and the password that they were using was 1234567 Now, when an attacker, knows that VNC is opened within your environment, if he performs a brute force attack, within minutes, I was able to know their password, just by performing that attack. So this is again something, some very common issues that you will see.
Okay.
Over here, if you guys see, sorry for that. Let me just do one more thing. Using Nmap, we'll be able to, see what all ports are open. You can see over here, port number 21 is open, 22 is open. So a lot of ports over here, we have a lot of ports are open over here. So this is again one, process that we do. For example, over here on port number 21, there is a service that is running with the name FTP. So I'll copy the version of this specific vulnerability, okay? And simply I'll go to, browser, and I put the version and I type, let's say, exploit, okay? So basically I know the vulnerability, I just want to, find out the exploit for that specific vulnerability. Over here, Rapid7 has given me the, the exploit and everything over here. So simply what I'll do, I have the commands over here directly that I can use. So what we can do over here is, okay, sorry for that. Okay. So simply I'll use this tool called MSF console, that is Metasploit. So simply I'll use Metasploit over here. And because I already know that which vulnerability is there, I have found the exploit as well, the method of exploit. Right now, as per Rapid7, the exploit is already available in a tool called as Metasploit. So Metasploit is a tool where we have, preloaded exploits that we can use to, exploit the vulnerabilities. So simply if I put this command over here, use, so basically use command says that this is the exploit we want to use. So I'm typing use over here. Then I need to set the R host, that is the remote host. Basically, I need to put the victim IP where I want to perform the attack, 192.1.40. And then, set L host. I'll need to write my own IP as well. So let me quickly check my own IP of this server. So my IP is 192.168.1.6. So what I'll do over here, set L host, that is listening host. So that is 192.168.1.6, enter. And I'll just type run over here. What we have done, we identified the vulnerability. We found the exploit that we will be using to exploit the vulnerability. And now we have used that specific exploit over here. Hold on. I'll need to reboot the victim machine. Fine, till the time that machine is, rebooting. Okay. Till the time that machine is rebooting, let me show you, what exactly this exploit is. Okay. This module exploits a malicious backdoor that was added to the VSFTPD download archive. This backdoor was introduced in VSFTPD 2.3.4 archive between this time to this, according to the most recent information available. So basically, in this specific version of VSFTPD service, there is a backdoor available. Okay. So what is backdoor? Backdoor is the door from where an attacker can take the entry in your machine. So right now, the system that we have, it has a vulnerable version of VSFTPD, that we will be exploiting in order to gain access to that specific system. So, oh, good. The machine is running. It will take, yep, it's done. Hold on. Fine. Yep, you can see over here it says backdoor has been spawned. So we configured everything, we found the exploit, we configured it, and now when I run it, I have each and everything. So basically I have full control of the victim's machine right now. Okay, so if I just go to home directory, unless we have MSF admin, let me show on the right side as well what all things do we have. CD MSF admin, unless CD vulnerable, less. So over here, what I'll do, I'll create a new file really quickly, mkdir act. So now on the victim, I'll go and show you if the folder is created or not. So I just created a folder with the name hacked over here, and the folder got created on the victim system as well. When I have access to this machine, I can do whatever I want to do. Let's say I want to see the password of all the users that are logged into this machine, on this victim machine. So what I can do is I'll do just cat, etc password. So in Linux, the password for all the users are stored into two files. One is etc password file. Another file is etc shadow. So as an attacker, I have now access to both the files. So if I want, I can crack the password of these users. For MSF admin, I can crack the password, right? So this is how it is done. So for now, like over here, if I want to do the data exfiltration, I want to download some data from my victim machine. That is also something that I can do right now. If I want to upload some file over there, that also I can do. If I want to, do anything, crack user password, that is also something I can do. Basically, I have total control over the victim's machine right now. Okay. So when we are doing the VAPT, what we do is we find out these kind of vulnerabilities. We create a POC out of it, that is proof of concept. We tell the other party that this is how you need to fix these issues and what kind of potential impact it can have on your environment. That is something that we do. Okay. So Nessus tool can, generate reports as well. Okay. So for example, before the class only, I created one report out of Nessus that you can see over here. For each vulnerability that are there, so total Nessus has identified that 10 critical vulnerabilities, 7 medium level, 7 high level, 26 medium, and 9 low vulnerabilities are present in the machine. So now one by one, whatever vulnerabilities are mentioned, we need to validate all these vulnerabilities and we need to take a snapshot for that specific thing. And finally, we will be giving them a final report where we will demonstrate that, okay, these are the vulnerabilities that we have identified within your network. So with this, I'll also, I'll be helping you guys with creating like how to create the manual trackers as well. So this is the manual tracker that, this is the kind of tracker we create, the manual tracker, where we have all the assets detail, on which specific system, on which IP, on which port the vulnerability is present, what is the name of the vulnerability, the solution for that vulnerability, what is the risk, CVSS score, CVE detail, all those things will be mentioned over here in this tracker that we are having. Okay, we have the asset details and the client details over here. Okay, so this is how you'll create a tracker and you'll be sharing it with the client along with all the relevant snapshots per vulnerability. Okay, so yeah, this is how these things work. So this is about your network VAPT. So it has this automated approach, and after that we do the things manually as well using tools like Nmap, Metasploit, and multiple custom what I would say payloads as well, that you can get from GitHub and these kind of places. So yeah, this is how our Nessus tool looks like. So if I show you Nessus also, I'll go to new scan. So Nessus also has multiple different type of features where we can we can do the like black box VAPT also we can do over here, and along with that we also can do the gray box VAPT where we need the credentials using like these kind of modules like credential patch audit or policy compliance auditing, right? So this is something that we do when we talk about VAPT, specifically for network VAPT. So just like this, the way we have this victim machine over here, this on the right side, just like this, there will be a lot of machines that we will be having as we proceed with our classes, where we'll do website defacement attack, where we will hack a website, full-fledged website, and we will deface the whole, the whole website will, as per attacker. As I told you, once you compromise any system, once you have the your reverse shell of any machine, you can pretty much do anything. All right. So how defacement is done after hacking the machine. So that is something we'll understand. And overall level, at the overall level, how this network VAPT black box, gray box is done along with the reporting. That is something we'll be discussing and covering. And coming to GRC now. So in GRC, we'll cover two major things. First of all, ISO 27001. How so in GRC we don't have these kind of labs the way we have over here. In GRC we create our own you can say a kind of a scenario we create where there will be a hypothetical company will create, and for that specific company, let's say we have to conduct the ISO 27001 audit, right? So this kind of checklist will be given to you. So I'll help you guys in this questionnaire building. How do we prepare these questions, and how do we ask these questions? On what basis we do the this compliance checks? What is this test of design, test of effectiveness, and how exactly you can see the compliance status of your organization, how you can conduct these audits. That is something we will be discussing. So we have multiple different type of controls in ISO 27001. We have physical control, people control, we have technological control as well. So over here you can see organizational control, we have people control, physical control, and the technological controls. So based on these controls, we have multiple control titles over here. And based on these control titles, we need to create our own questionnaire that as auditor you will go and ask client, right? And based on this, the audit is conducted. So this is how we will be doing the we'll be learning the GRC as well, how this ISO 27001 audit is conducted. That is something we will be discussing. So yeah, that is something that we have. And moving forward, so far, any question, any doubt, anyone? If you want to ask any question, please feel free to ask. Anyone?
Yeah.
All good. Okay. So yes, Mr. Dilip. Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, Mr. Bharatwaj, Dilip here. Very good evening. So
Very,
I
very
am
good.
new to
Yeah.
this industry. Actually, I have a vast experience in process control system. I mean to say the oil and gas sector. I'm working as a
Okay.
project manager. So I'm
Okay.
just, I have a little basic knowledge. You can say that I'm the elementary boy for in this field. So I just wanted to learn the cybersecurity. I wanted to get practice. That is the intention I wanted to learn in this
Correct.
upcoming industry development for the cybersecurity protection for all the industry levels. So
Correct.
you can
Correct.
just treat me as a newcomer,
Hey, yeah,
and I
definitely.
have some, yeah.
Hey, so for for everyone, I just want to add one point. So Dilip, I noted your point. I've understood, right? Just one thing I want to tell everyone over here. See, right now, whatever I have shown you, like for example, the VAPT or anything, right? So I'm not expecting anyone to understand whatever I'm doing. It's just I just wanted to give you some idea at least, right? What to expect, what kind of things we'll be doing. Again, this time I have tried that I keep the practical very simple, right? Because see, we will be doing the kind of attacks that we will be doing. We'll do very complicated attacks as well, where you will do there will be a whole attack chain that will be there. From one vulnerability we'll exploit another vulnerability, and we'll chain all these vulnerabilities, and at the end of it, how we deface the whole website, or how we execute the ransomware. So all of these things also we'll discuss, right? But I want to ensure and I want to tell you guys this thing, that we will start from very basics. Okay. So like everyone who is here, so feel free, and don't worry about this thing. So we'll make sure that all of you, we start from very basics, and And over the period of these 9 months where we cover our network security and other modules, you will be able to, like, from very beginner, you'll be able to go at a very good level, right? So this is how we'll work. We'll start slow, and where we create that foundational knowledge, and then we will move forward with our these modules that we are having, the advanced modules. So this is how we will be working on this. So yeah. All right. So then Kali Linux, I have just shown you that we have Kali Linux on which we will be working. So just like Windows operating system, we have Kali operating system. So Kali is the operating system that is made for hackers and made by hackers. Okay. So it has all the relevant tools that you need to perform any kind of engagement, any attack you want to perform, network VAPT, web VAPT, or anything you want to do, you can use Kali for that. So yeah, Kali Linux is an open source operating system that is based on Linux distribution, designed for the digital forensics and penetration testing, that is ethical hacking, right? And it is maintained and funded by a group called Offensive Security. We call it as OFSEC. Okay. So very quickly, I'll tell you about the job roles that are there. After learning this program, one can aim for or one can look for. And those of you who are already in the kind of a managerial role, it will help you to go in a better role within your organization as well. But these are some generic roles that we have one can aim for. So let's say, starting with computer forensic analyst. So in computer forensic analysts, like we call them digital forensic examiner as well. So these people take care of any, let's say we have a hard disk, we have a pen drive, or some cyber attack has happened, and you want to investigate that whole cyber attack, or maybe you want to investigate a hard disk where you are suspecting that some evidence is there. All right. So a computer forensic analyst will perform the investigation using the digital forensics tools, and he will be able to conclude some facts out of these evidences that we are having, right? This role is crucial in legal context, corporate investigation, and cyber security incident response. So this is something that we have over here. So we start with evidence collection, data recovery and analysis, and finally we like show all these evidences. We write a very good report so that all these facts can be shown to, let's say, when we are talking about the criminal context, because all these, whatever, as a forensic analyst, whatever you will write, this will directly go to judge who will read it. So those people should also be able to understand what you are writing. All right. So that is something that is there. So we will understand how evidence collection is done, how we do the data recovery, how the analysis is carried out, how we do the documentation and proper chain of custody, how that is maintained. So that is something we'll be doing as well. And when I talk about computer forensics, we can have two kind of job roles. One that you will have in the corporates, where you do the investigation when a cyber breach happens, the kind of thing that I'm also doing in my company as well, that my team is doing it, right? So that is also something that we do, where any cyber attack happens, we do the investigation. Or other than that, there is another role to it, where there will be requirement in the government bodies as well. The way we have forensic science laboratories in India, they have a lot of hiring in these kind of forensic science labs as well. In Delhi police, let's say, or CVI, they also need digital forensic examiner who can do these investigations for them, for the criminal cases that will be there. So yeah, industries, application, assisting in criminal investigation and prosecution. So in law enforcement it is used, corporate security, legal and consulting firms. Over here also it is used, right? So these are the tools that are used in forensics. So these are the tools we work with in our course, right? When you do the RAM dump analysis, or you do the disk analysis, we work on these tools that we are having. Then we have a role called as SOC analyst. A SOC analyst work within the Security Operations Center to monitor, detect, and respond to the security threats and the incidents. So for example, you have a very big building, a very high security facility is there. To monitor this whole facility, there will be a proper surveillance room where a lot of people will be sitting and monitoring each and every activity, whatever is happening. So now, think of this in a corporate setting. So just like that, we have, in corporates, we have a proper security operations center. In movies also, I'm pretty much sure this kind of visual you guys would have seen, where people are, sitting and they are just, looking at the screen, what is going on. So this is the work of SOC analyst. The SOC analyst will see whenever a new attack is happening on your organization, and, they will monitor it. And also, how exactly we can stop these things, how do we respond to such attacks. That is something these people will be doing over there, right? So their key responsibilities include monitoring the security alerts. All the devices within the organization will be generating some sort of alerts. SOC analysts, their main job is to monitor all those alerts, and based on those alerts, they have to do the remediation steps, take the remediation steps, or at least, send information to the relevant party so that they can take the, relevant steps. Okay. Rapid identification and response to security incident to mitigate the potential damage. This is again something that they'll be doing. So this is how the career path looks like in SOC. The role of SOC analyst, we have L1 analyst, L2 analyst, and we have L3 analyst. L1 analyst mainly take care of the alert triage part, where they will do the initial analysis. Then the advanced analysis is done by the L2 analyst. We have the L3 people, who will be doing the threat hunting and the incident response management. Yes, Mr. Subir, please tell me.
Hi, good evening, Harshit. Just to understand that the SOC analyst is for basically for the physical security. They are monitoring physical security.
No. Sorry for that. I think the analogy that I was trying to give, so you misunderstood this a little. So this is not for physical security. I was telling that, the way we have in a very high, for example, there is a very sensitive facility that we are having, maybe in military, right? So there will be a specific room that they'll be creating, where they will monitor each and every activity that is happening. If someone is trying to get inside, that facility, so they will be monitoring all these things. Similar to that, in any corporate, any company, let's say for Amazon, for them, what is important is their data, is their asset. So they have a lot of assets, a lot of computers they have, right? They have a lot of security solutions in cloud, in on site also. They have a lot of solutions, a lot of people are working for them. So they want to monitor that all these assets that we are having, all these devices that we are having, nobody can hack these devices, nobody can get into these devices. For that,
they are working with the data also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
whatever I have seen in my company, the SOC analyst is doing the CCTV surveillance.
No. That is not SOC analyst. No.
Okay.
Correct. No, they don't do it. This
I
is
think
not their
he is
job.
referring to physical security team.
Yep, most likely the physical security team you're referring to. But when I talk about SOC specifically, what I'm telling you right now, Security Operations Center, this SOC analyst is totally different from that one. Okay. Over here, we just take care of all the digital asset that the organization is having, all the digital devices that they have. We monitor all those devices. Okay. That is something.
Understood.
Yeah. So these are the kind of tools we use for that. We use Splunk. This is a SIM solution. So we'll be working with Splunk as well. We will be working with, we have Snort over here. Just like this, we have a tool called as Surikata. That is also a IDS, intrusion detection system. So we use these tools when we will, cover our module as well, right? So yeah, this is what SOC analysts will be using in their day-to-day life. Okay. Then we have firewalls and antivirus solutions they'll be working on, right? And then we have the EDR solutions as well, endpoint detection and response solutions that the SOC analysts will be working on. So these are some technical skills that they need, and the understanding of networks, operating system, proficiency in the SIM solutions. So these are some things that we have. Then we have a GRC analyst. GRC analyst is a person who, a GRC analyst focuses on ensuring that an organization's policies and procedures align with the regulations. So if you see, like, check any company, right? All these companies will come under, like most of the companies that you will see around you, they will fall under some sort of regulatory or another. Okay. For example, in India, the stock brokers that we are having, all these brokers will fall under SEBI. Okay. All the banks that we have in India will fall under RBI, right? So RBI and all these, regulatory bodies that we are having, they make some sort of regulations, some sort of rules that they'll be creating for all the companies that are empaneled with them. Okay, there are certain things that they need to follow. Okay, there will be certain things that they need to follow. So a GRC analyst will ensure that the organization with which they are working, the organization will properly maintain the policies and procedures or whatever requirement the regulator is giving. GRC analyst will make sure that all those things the organization have in their process. Okay, so their role is also in maintaining the compliance with the industry standard and the legal requirement. So this is something that we have over here. Their job role involves, development of the policies, the way I told you, the password policy I was telling you, right? So they will draft these password policies, do the risk assessments and all these things. Yes, Mr. Dilip.
May I know what is the abbreviation of GRC?
Governance, risk and compliances. Governance, risk management and compliances. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It is coming under the risk management.
No, okay. I'm saying governance, risk management, and compliances. When you do the risk management for the organization, you will be finding out, different type of risk organization. Like when you are performing any kind of audit. So how the risk management is done. What are different risk any organization is having. All those things we do in risk management part. And following to that, the compliances that we are having. For example, you're doing the ISO 27001, audit. So proper, we'll draft a proper questionnaire based on the ISO 27001, framework. So based on that, based on different policies that, or based on different controls that we have, we'll need to create the questionnaire. Based on those questionnaires, we'll be performing the audit. All right. So yeah, it has these things we have in governance, risk and compliance. More or less, if I tell you, the person who is into GRC, their main role is on the on the side of what I would say management, where they do the audits, or maybe they help in the audits. They do the policy developments for the organization, performing the risk assessments, conducting regular risk risk assessments, and making sure that whatever risks they are identifying, we have to decrease those risks. Compliance, performing the compliance audits. So these are some things, some key roles that the GRC analyst will be having. Okay. Then they also need to have understanding of different regulatories and standards that we are having. For example, you can see over here we have GDPR, HIPAA, PCI DSS. So if you guys have seen that all the cards, when you go to any payment gateway, I'm pretty much sure some of you would have noticed PCI DSS symbol over there. So basically, if there is any organization who is processing credit card related information, they need to comply with PCI DSS. All the the companies who are managing, let's say, the PHI data, the health records, they need to follow HIPAA. And all the companies who are processing the data of any European citizen, they need to comply with GDPR. So these are some things that the person needs to understand, right? So yeah, these are some things. And then we have the penetration tester. We also call it as ethical hacker. So the main role of any pen tester or the ethical hacker is to identify the vulnerabilities in your digital infrastructure, in your digital assets, and presenting those vulnerabilities in front of the organization, telling them that, okay, these are the gaps I have identified. Please fix it before any attacker can do that. So that is something he will be doing. So the main goal is to identify and exploit the vulnerabilities before the actual attacker will do that. Okay. So yeah, again, these are some things that he'll be doing: planning and scoping, conducting pen testing, exploitation. So this is the process. I'll share this PPT as well with you guys, so you can also go through. But yeah, this is how we will be working. When we start with our modules, so we'll understand all these things from very scratch only, right? So these are the kind of tools that will be used: Metasploit, Nmap, Burpsuit, Wireshark, OWASP, Zap, and Acunetics. Please, Luke, tell me.
Yeah, hi Harshit. Just a quick question. I've been through your previous slides which you shared. I've been through that, and I tried hacking the same WannaCry hack and all.
Okay.
I just wanted to know: is there any website or a page where we can do the practical sessions? I mean, for these kind of job roles, it's always better to have a practical knowledge. at the same time with the theoretical knowledge. So is there any website wherein we can go, like for example, try hack me? This website is there wherein you can do the regular
Exactly.
practices, taking a scenario and working on it. So do you recommend any website wherein we regularly go to that website and do some practical sessions just to have hands-on experience on those kind of live
Correct.
scenarios?
So I'll tell you guys something. So definitely there are multiple platforms right now. If you'll see, TryHackMe is definitely a good platform. Similarly, we have Hack the Box, we have Let's Defend, BTLO is there, right? But also we have, like, mostly what we will be using is WorldHub. Okay. So how is WorldHub different from others? So in WorldHub, you can actually download full-fledged machine within your environment as well. Okay. So all these are some different type of virtual machines that we have, right? And so people create the labs and they upload it over here. So you can submit your own machine as well, right? For example, if I want to create a challenge for everyone, I can submit that machine over here. So you'll find a lot of machines on WorldHub that we can download, and we can put that in our own environment, right? So locally you will be able to exploit that system. So yeah, this is again something we have. So yeah, WorldHub is also great platform for that.
Okay, thanks, Harshit.
All good. So yeah, that is something we have. Similar to that, we have these job roles as well. We have incident responder, we have security architect, malware analyst. Incident responder will take care whenever there is any cyber incident that happens. He will respond to those incidents, what to do to make sure the impact will to minimize the impact. Basically, that is something we do. Security architect, designing a secure network is something that security architect will be doing. The way we have SOC analysts in SOC, the whole deployment of the SIM architecture, the deployment of EDR, firewall, security architect will take care of that specific thing, that where the manager will be deployed and where other things will be deployed. So that is something we have. Then we have malware analyst who will study and dissect the malicious softwares to understand its behavior, origin, and impact. So many companies like McAfee, we have companies like Trend Micro, a lot of companies are there who hire malware analysts that will analyze the latest sample of the malwares that are there. At the end, I'll just give you some idea about these two terminologies. So whatever we have discussed so far, it will fall under either of these two things. It will either fall under your red teaming or it will fall under your blue teaming, right? So red teaming is the name of cybersecurity professional who act as an adversary against the malicious hackers. Red team often consists of independent ethical hackers who objectively evaluate the system security. So basically, all the people who are into the offensive side will fall under red teaming, who will actually do the hacking. Their main job is to act as a real world adversary and to perform the attacks. Okay. So that is something the red teamers will do. What exactly this blue team security, like what happens in this blue team security? The blue team refers to the security professional responsible for defending an IT infrastructure against any possible attack. These professionals analyze data flow and user behavior to predict threat and take proper security measures. We need to make sure, like when you're in the blue team, you will make sure that your organization is pretty much secure from all the threats. And after doing that, you will also do the real-time monitoring. So the attacker will try to get into your, into your network. Your role is to stop them. As simple as that. So they are aware of the business objectives and organization security strategy. Therefore, their task is to strengthen the castle wall so no intruder can compromise the defenses. What is blue team security? Hey, sorry for that. It's the same thing. No, okay. So yeah, basically, they will take care of the security part. They will strengthen their infrastructure security. They will do the real-time monitoring. Red team will perform the attack. They will act as a real-world hackers, real-world adversary. They will perform the attack. Their motive is to get inside, and as a blue teamer, your role is to stop them. As simple as that. So all the roles that we are having, they will fall under these two categories, right? So yep, that is something we have. And with that, this session will end, and from next week onwards we'll start with our module where we'll the very basics, and we'll start with our demonstration of all these things that we have discussed today. Mr. Dilip, please tell me.
Yeah, this is my kind request. We can just go ahead for each and every sessions once completed. We can do the implementation. It's like the practical. Then it can be easily understand. We can get more knowledge in that. That is what my recommendation, my request also.
Mr. Dilip, I'm really sorry. Can you please come back again? Sharing. Like
No.
you
can hear my voice?
Now I can hear you. Please.
Yeah. So when we are doing the one model completion, after completion, we can just have a quick practical session. Then in order to that, we can get some explore and we can just go ahead with that.
Okay.
So this is my thought. I just requesting you. Is it possible way, or we can go ahead, or what is your suggestion? You can just let me know.
I'll tell you something, Mr. Dilip. Whenever we'll be working on any module, it's not like when the module will end, then we'll do practical. In fact, we will do the practicals throughout the whole curriculum. So basically, whenever we'll have a class, I don't think there will be any class where I will just teach you theory. In every class, there will be some sort of practical that will be involved. In some classes, it will be totally practical. In some classes, maybe 50% theory part and 50% practical we have. This is how we'll work, right? So again,
sounds good. So somehow we have to get trained. That is the main main agenda. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Subir.
Yeah, just want to know that for the practical session, is there any tool application or the software application is required to install in the my system?
Okay, the main thing that I need from you guys is that, when we will start with the practicals, like make sure the system that you're having, make sure it has at least 16 GBs of RAM. If you do not have that much RAM right now, please upgrade it. That is first requirement. Processor, if you have, let's say, i5 processor, we are good. i5 12th gen is something that is good, and if it is better, then of course it will be really good. Just that is something we'll need. Other than that, all the tools, all the labs, whatever things will be there, I will be providing that from my side. So it's not like that you need to get any license or anything. Whatever things will be there, either the tool will be open source or like everything will be done from my side, from the team. So don't worry about that. Right?
No, my query is that I have to install that in the system.
Yeah. Like when you will be doing.
Because what happened, I am using now my company laptop, so I need to concern with my digital team whether I can install or not. So that is my prime request.
So I'll tell you something. The only software that you will be downloading in your system is VirtualBox. That's it. Once you are into VirtualBox is like it will create a virtual system within your system. Okay. So once you have a VirtualBox installed, if you have the permission to install VirtualBox, everything that after that, whatever we'll do it in the VirtualBox, right? So it won't have anything, like it won't be linked to your main system after that, right? Everything will be doing in the VirtualBox itself.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I should Dilip here. Sorry to bother you.
Yes, Mr. Dilip. Yeah, please tell me.
I have only 8 GB RAM. Is it mandatory we can just keep 16 GB RAM in the system?
So I'll tell you something. We can start with 8. The only thing is that there will be labs that we will be solving as we proceed, where like the labs that we are running. For example, for the Splunk, the Splunk lab. So Splunk has a requirement that at least 4 GB of RAM is required just for Splunk Manager. And along with that, there will be one machine also that will be onboarding. So when it is 16 GB, it is good, right? It's not like, I would suggest like 16 should be there, but it's not like that, before, without 16, we cannot start. It's just that, as you proceed, there will be some practicals that will, that we'll be having where we will need the RAM, all right? Initially, we'll have some basic practicals where it won't be required, but as we proceed, it will be needed over there.
No issue. Sounds good. I will try to make it as soon as possible.
All good. Yeah. So yeah, that is something that is there. So yep, I think we are good.
Okay.
Mr.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rashid sir, for yet another informative session. Thank you everyone for making the session so much interactive. Just a quick information for Mr. Dilip sir. First 6 classes I have shared the delivery plan in the academic group where you are also part of. That is more concentrating on the theory part, as Harshit sir said. So after 6 classes commencing from next 13th of June onwards, then we will be digging deeper, more practicals will be engaged, and at that time your RAM requirement will be initiated. So you can manage for next 1 to 1.5 months. Okay, Dilip sir, that will not be an issue.
Yeah. Thank you for information. I just wanted to make myself preparation ready, so
No
I don't
worries.
want to go last in the minute to be hangout. That's what.
No, sure
my
thing,
intention
sure
asking
thing,
that,
sure thing. Anyone else from the audience? Anything? A lot of people I can say. I know everyone by their name. Anyone want to ask anything?
Any question? Yeah.
But a humble request, if anyone hasn't started pre-learning yet, it's not required to complete all the 60 hours. Some parts of pre-learning have been given as a complimentary, but there are certain things like Harshit sir said, some fundamental videos on Linux, some videos on the information security system. Those are really required, and that would be really appreciating your learning in the upcoming weeks. So please start that. If still there is someone who is yet to start, so I do understand majority of the enrolled learners, they are working professionals, very senior professionals. In fact, Harshit sir, this batch is like your first batch. I mean, people are having up to 25 years of work experience. Okay, so definitely. Subir sir is more than 30 years he is working. So very senior people, all the esteemed participants are. So we are really thankful to have all of you on board. So it would be a fantastic journey. So that's all for today's orientation. So allow us to wrap up for the day. So see you all next week, 13th June, Saturday, same time. Please join the meet with your laptop, and 2.5 to not 2.5 to 2 hours 45 minutes to 3 hours it would be the session. Okay, but it will be exciting now. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your tremendous support. Thank you, Harshit sir.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good night and take care.
Yeah, good night. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.